And hello, everyone, and welcome back to my Senate election videos, where I take a look at the Senate races going on across America in 2026, and we take a look at all the races, and I give my analysis and predictions on the races. How I think it's going to turn out. And today we are taking a look at the state of North Carolina, a seat currently held by the Republican Party, and the current senator is Tom Tillis. Mr. Tillis is retiring after 2 terms. Uh, Mr. Tillis' margin of victory when he ran for his second term in 2020 was just over 1.5%, so a very small victory. Donald Trump won the state in 2024 with a margin of victory of just over 3%. That is slightly up from his victory in 2020 of just over 1%. North Carolina, in all three races, Trump won it all 3 times, but it was very competitive every time, and both parties spent considerable resources to win the state. But Donald Trump eked out a small victory each time. Um, let's take a look at the two nominees. The Democratic nominee is the former governor of the state of North Carolina, Roy Cooper. And North Carolina is unique. It is one of the 10 states that holds its gubernatorial elections concurrent with the presidential elections. And on the same night that Donald Trump won small victories in the state, Roy Cooper was victorious, winning the governor's mansion. It should be noted that Roy Cooper, prior to becoming governor, was elected state attorney general in 2000 and won statewide elections in 2000, 2004, and 2012 to that office on nights that the Republican nominee for president carried the state of North Carolina. Obviously, he won in 2008 on a night that Barack Obama won the state. So Cooper has been able to prevail uh, and win North Carolina statewide on nights that Republicans carried the state in the presidential election. Prior to serving as governor, as I mentioned, he served from 2000 till 2016 as the state attorney general, and he was reelected to the governorship in 2020. Cooper, prior to that, served in the legislature, both chambers serving from 1987 up till his election as state attorney general in 2000. Um, Cooper has never lost an election. He has always been victorious in his electoral successes. Uh, and as governor, he was facing a predominantly Republican dominated legislature, and that Republican legislature took attempts that were ultimately successful before he took office to really hollow out the powers of the governor in North Carolina. And North Carolina is a heavily gerrymandered state, um, and its congressional delegation does not reflect the political reality of North Carolina and the North Carolina electorate. Cooper is running on a message of that things are too high. It is harder for the middle class to get ahead now, and he wants to help go to the Senate and level the playing field. And that, basically saying to those voters who voted for Trump in 2016, 2020, and 2024, and especially the 24 voters, that, what Donald Trump promised you and what the reality of his second term has been are vastly different. And he's been leading in fundraising, he's leading in the polls, and most political experts say that of all the Senate seats that are likely to change hands, North Carolina is at the top of the list, and that if Democrats don't flip North Carolina, it is going to be really hard for them to get to a Senate majority. If they're not flipping North Carolina, the possibility of them flipping other seats is very, very low. Um, Mr. Cooper won his primary with very respectable numbers. He he was not unopposed, but it was nominal um, opposition. And the gentleman that had originally intended to seek the Democratic nomination, former Representative Nickel, uh, did not, and he endorsed Cooper very soon after Cooper announced his run. And it should also be noted that when Cooper was term limited in 2024, the Democrats held on to the governor's mansion. So when Cooper left, another Democrat replaced him, and that's a strong argument in his favor. The Republican nominee is the former chairman of the Republican National Party, Michael Whatley. Whatley became RNC chairman in 2024 after Trump requested the removal of Ronna Romney McDaniel, who had served as chairwoman of the party since Trump's first victory in 2016. Trump had really um, had soured on her leadership of the party. And Whatley was very successful in his chairmanship of the Republican Party. The Republicans maintained control of the United States House of Representatives. They gained the majority in the Senate, picking up seats in Ohio, West Virginia, Montana, and Pennsylvania in the 2024 election, and came very close to picking up seats in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Nevada. So um, and raised a lot of money. And Whatley was kind of handpicked by Trump to run for this seat after Tillis announced his retirement, and was even pushing Whatley to primary Tillis if Tillis decided to run for re-election. But Tillis announced during the Big Beautiful Bill debate in Congress last summer, as I'm recording this, in the summer of 2025, that he would not be seeking re-election. Whatley, prior to serving as the Republican National Chairman, served as chair of the North Carolina Party. And he was a longtime Republican activist in the state and operative, and was one of the people that Trump turned to in 2016 to help organize North Carolina for him. Prior to that, he served in the Bush administration and was one of the people that ran point for Bush in Florida during the 2000 recount. And then served in various roles in the Bush administration, and then returned to North Carolina. And in addition to being a Republican activist, was involved in white collar law. So let's take, and he also won a primary with just overwhelming numbers. Uh, like Cooper, it didn't clear the field, but he had Trump's endorsement. He had endorsements of all of the Republican leadership in Congress and Richard Petty, which is a big name in North Carolina. And obviously nationally, he's the king of motorsports. Um, so Whatley, like Cooper, won just an overwhelming victory in his primary. So, how do I think this is going to turn out? What do I think are the situations that are affecting this race? Here's my view of it. Donald Trump um, has not delivered on what he said. Prices have gone up since he was reelected, and he primarily ran on a message of affordability. Uh, and people have really not been happy with how he's handled immigration. His numbers have dropped significantly on his handling of immigration uh, and every other issue. And he has gotten involved in foreign adventures when one of the key messages of both of his campaigns, um, really all three, was no more foreign adventures. And he seems hell bent on going on a world tour and engaging in some imperialism. He seems bound and determined, one way or another, legally or not so legally, to add more stars to the flag. Um, Co- Cooper, as I said, has led in the polls since the start of this race. It's early. I'm recording this video in early May or mid-May. Yesterday was mid-May. Mid-May of 2026. The election's obviously in November. But I feel confident in saying I fully expect that Roy Cooper will be the next senator from the state of North Carolina. Cooper, as I said, has never lost a race. Whatley's only win was the Republican primary. Um, Cooper is a known force. He's won over Republican voters before. And I get that this Senate seat in particular in North Carolina is one that Democrats often think is just right there, that they're going to take it this time, and it's like Lucy with the football. They fall on their rear end. Um, and, you know, Tillis is the first senator in a long time to win re-election to this particular Senate seat. Elizabeth Dole um, was defeated in her bid for re-election in 2008 uh, by Kay Hagan, and Kay Hagan lost to Tom Tillis in 2014. Uh, Cunningham had an extramarital affair that was one of the big reasons that he lost in 2020. And also, uh, Tillis was able to vote to confirm Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court in the closing days of that campaign. And some people believe that helped juice conservative turnout in North Carolina for Tillis and also the Trump coattails. I mean, you can see that Tillis only ran slightly ahead of Trump. Both won the state by less than 2%. So uh, it's a state that Democrats have challenges with, but I think Cooper's the right candidate to unlock it. Um, and he's proven time time and time again that he can win this state very easily. So I see no reason in my mind at this moment why come January 3rd, 2027, that Governor Cooper will become Senator Cooper and take the oath of office as the next United States Senator from the state of North Carolina. So I think this will be a win for Cooper and a pickup for the Democrats. If anything changes between now and then, and this race changes, or I begin to question that belief, I'll post another video. I'll post a part two. But at this moment, Cooper wins. Thank you all for coming. I'll be back again in the future with other videos. We'll take a look at the remaining Senate races and gubernatorial races happening this year, with one exception. I will not cover the state of Alabama. As I've said many times on this channel, I am not unbiased, but I do try to give my honest opinion in these races. And I am a Democrat in Alabama, and I'm very active. And I don't want to do a video on the Alabama races. I don't want my activism to be affected by those videos. And, you know, my hope to be affected by those videos. And I think Democrats have an incredible chance in Alabama to make not only a victory, possibly, but significant inroads in the state this election cycle. So I need you to do two things. Well, three, really. I need you to like this video. I need you to spread it to your friends and family. And third, if you have not done so, hit that subscribe button. You'll get notified when I put new content out there. Um, I'm not ever, I will never charge for these videos. Even though it's on Substack, I will never charge. I do this for fun. I do it for enjoyment. So please like, share, subscribe. I'll see y'all all in the near future.